Well, I have a 40 years career of soil scientist, and I never seen such an interest on soils before. I mean, I remember in 1997 when we sometimes used water as an excuse to conduct soil research. So bringing soils next to such important topics like climate change or cancer of cities, it's a very, very big achievement. And I'm sure that all the soil science community in Europe is extremely happy about this. And this is because we have to make 75% of the soils in the EU healthy. So it's a big target. Now, in the preparation phase for this workshop, we distributed you a questionnaire, and I will brief you with what the results were. 34 people responded, so thank you for that. 16 countries. We had 20% farmers, 20% researchers. We have extension service and advisors, 18%, NGOs, 18%, and civil servants, 12% of those who responded. But nevertheless, there was a mixed category between farmers and those people who may be doing also some type of farming related activities. So overall, the number of the respondents that represent the farming community go up to 60%, which is good. Now, we ask you also about the research priorities, and that was question number 5. And in the first place, rank the integration and uptake of current knowledge as the most important one, followed by accelerating innovation in technologies and practices. We have to discuss about this as well. The third was toward global resilience through circular economy and adaptation of food and biomass systems. And then finally, next generation of monitoring and surveillance programs as the fourth most important one. Now, there was a question number 6 that says, do you think that the 8 objectives and targets identified in the report that was distributed, I'm sure that you read it, are they feasible or not? We had a 65% of the people who said yes, and then there's a 35% that maybe have doubts about that. So this is again another topic of discussion. But it is very, very encouraging that when we asked implementing management practices that promote soil health, despite they might reduce a little bit the yields in the first years, but pay off on the medium and on the long term, not yield if you wish. So 100% of the people who responded says yes, we willing to do so. Then we asked you, would you consider converting your farm into an organic farm? And here it is again some aspects that we need to deep in and discuss, because from those that responded, 6 said I'm considering to organic farming. 6 were already organic farmers, but another 6 said no, I have no intention to do so. Nevertheless, there was a largest number of responses also, and I probably here we have to consider also the advisors and the essential service people who responded, that they say, yeah, I'll be willing to help others to convert to organic farming. Now, these are important responses to take into consideration, because one of the goals, as you know, is to convert at least 25% of EU agriculture from conventional to organic farming. And that is by 2030, and that is a very ambitious target that we need to talk about it. Was a question, how much do you agree that caring for soil is caring for life? And almost everybody said, yes, I agree, that's fine. Have you taken any actions to promote soil health? Then we got interesting responses like cover crops, lowering chemical fertilizer use and pesticides, crop rotations, limiting deep plowing or maybe no-till, rotational grazing of animals using bio-based fertilizer, agroforestry. So these were some of the interesting responses that came. And this question goes along more or less in the same line with the question 11, what actions would you like to take in the future to promote soil health? So people more or less repeat what I already mentioned to you, but it stands out that they need also to have better communication, more demonstration, farm and cooperation between stakeholders, which is considered also very important by many people who responded, and we'll come back to this as well. We had question 12, which barriers, if any, could stop you from doing so? And here it comes the problem that maybe the profitability in the beginning might be also something that it could be taken into consideration, or we need some help for initial investments. You need new machinery to implement this, and sometimes people mention also bureaucracy and political lacking. So these are some of the barriers, and then you have also to consider that it's a challenge to mentality. You're willing to change, especially for those farmers that might be reluctant to do so. Nevertheless, many of the respondents said that we already are taking good care of our soil, and that this has been for quite some time and will continue to do so in the future. There was a question 13, what type of support would you need to further engage in activities promoting soil health? And then the large majority pointed out that there is a need for looking at good examples, more demonstration and education, especially for farmers and advisors. And here also is needed the help of the research and scientific community to help people. Other important issues were related to the increasing in implementation of new technologies like precision agriculture, sensors that might be needed, so you can make a more advanced farming. Then again, data that are needed to collect on soil monitoring, on soil biodiversity. So these are again some of the important topics. Then we had a question number 14. If you are a farmer, are you interested in making your farm a living lab or a lighthouse? And this is also very interesting to see that almost everybody said yes, we would like to do so, but we will also need some type of advice from those people who are doing so. And I'm glad to mention that during this workshop, you will hear also some real examples from people who are already doing the living labs and the houses. And finally, there was a question 15. Having read the research needs, which one do you identify as the most important? Would you suggest any changes? And it is good also to see that people consider that those identified research needs and innovation are important, and they are also very strongly interlinked. So that is mostly what it comes out. Again, it is the issue of communication, citizen engagement, not necessarily only farm, we're talking also citizens, people who can have also an impact on increasing soil health. Living labs and lighthouses, again, I repeat it, it came as a very important tool for innovation. So these are more or less quickly the results of the questionnaire. But again, I close here because we have we are short in time. That we have to talk about these results and then have an open discussion during the duration of the workshop. So having said that, I thank you very much for your participation here. I was happy to be part of this team. We really work hard actually for preparation, and I hope that everything will be fine and will be attractive and will be useful for all the participants.